Welcome to South Dakota's JA Stock Market Challenge simulation. I'm going to show you the steps on how to launch and run a game when in the classroom. So whether you're the volunteer or the classroom teacher, you're first going to go to smc.ja.org and click on Log In. Once you do that, you are going to put in your username, which is going to be the email address that JA has on file for you, and the password that you created. If you have not yet set a password or can't remember your password, click on the Create Reset Password button to reset it. Then you're going to hit Log In. Once you log in, you are going to notice that JA has preloaded 3 games for every class that you have for each semester. So we're going to focus on each semester one at a time, and hopefully we can clear them out from semester to semester. But what you're going to want to do is make sure you pay attention to the period as well as the visit, and they may or may not be in the correct order. So just keep that in mind. So you'll notice that this specific teacher has 2 classes, one period 1 and one period 3, and we've created 3 pre-loaded games for each of those visits. So this is going to be period 1, visit 1. So I am going to just click on that specific class, and it's going to prompt you to select your role. You are in as both the director and the educator, but you want to click on director in order to have access to actually run the game. So click on director and hit select, and then you're in the back end of the game. One thing that you can do as you're in this view is just simply to click on this blue button or this blue bar, and it's going to show you the game that's been preloaded. If you want to make any changes, you are welcome to, but you should be able to just play the game or start it when you're ready. We want to make sure that the students have a little bit of time to be able to purchase their stocks before you start the game. So don't hit start until you're ready to go, or the students won't be able to buy stocks ahead of time. One other thing, once you get in here, you're going to want to open up these 3 tabs until the game gets started. They're just generic, but what you're going to notice is once you open it, it's actually going to show you what it is. So all 3 of these are different. One of them is the leaderboard, one is the stock exchange, and one is the news item events. So as the teacher, you're going to want to open those up. You're also going to want to know to the code that is on all of them. So you're going to notice that this 4-digit number is going to be different for every game, but that number is the same on each of the 3 tabs. So what works the best for the students, since they don't have a tab to click, they just need to free type in the URL, which we have provided on their slip of paper. But once they type it the first time, you're going to have to give them this code to insert. They can copy it and paste it into the next tab and just simply change this last word from left to right to main. So it is a little bit cumbersome, but it does allow them direct access to seeing this information as well. Right now, this is just going to be showing until the game is started, but this is another really easy way for the students to make sure that they are selecting the correct game. Okay. So as the classroom teacher, that's all you need to do. Log in, select your game, and now you're just waiting and ready right here to be able to start the game for the students. The student view I'm going to do in Edge, and they're going to do the same thing, smc.ja.org. When they click on login, they are going to receive a fictitious email that they are going to use. So on the slip of paper that JA provides, you are going to notice the long number at jastudent.org. That is going to be their username. And then everybody's password is password123 exclamation point with a capital P. So it's a little bit cumbersome to get them in, but once they do, this is going to be their view. So the first thing they're going to need to do is make sure that they click into the proper game. So again, slow them down, make sure they're only going to see their specific games that have been loaded. So rather than all of the classes that the teacher has, they will only see the 3 visits that have been preloaded. So they're going to want to make sure to focus on visit 1. So this is the game we're playing. They're going to select their role as student, hit select, And then what they're going to get is, because the game has not yet been started, they can go into their portfolio and start buying stock. Once you hit start, this is no longer active and they're going to enter directly into the game. They can continue to buy stock at that point, but the game is already underway. A few of the things that they should note is that right now the game is not started, so otherwise they're going to see that moving as they go. And right now they can't see any movement in the stocks, but as soon as the game gets going, they're going to see it's going to show green if it's increasing, red if it's decreasing, etc. I want to point out two tabs on the student home screen. First of all, the overview tab is what they'll often use, but the trading tab is often, once we get going, a really easy way for them to see kind of a one-stop shop, because again, once this gets going, they're going to see the all-time low, the all-time high. It's going to be green or red. And from here, they have the opportunity, they can see how many shares they own. They can put it on their watch list if they want to, but they can buy or sell by either clicking into the symbol or by going to this trade tab. So I just want to point out that this is a really nice view once the game gets going. So they can do that right away if they want, or they can simply start exploring the stock by going back to the overview tab and scrolling down. They can see more about the specific stock by clicking into the symbol. So as they scroll down, they can read a little bit more about it. They can see the industry. So this is a mining industry. Again, we want to talk about diversification and things like that. So this is going to kind of give them a little bit more information about the stock at hand. They can buy and sell by going over to the right-hand side. So you have to buy by quantity. So make sure that they're looking at, oh, this is only $1.15. So that's not going to be very expensive if you buy 1,000 shares. The total price is automated for them and they can just simply click buy. It's going to confirm the order. They have to hit OK. You're going to notice once they have purchased, it will show how many shares they have available to sell if they want. And it's going to show them their cash on hand that's left over for what else they can purchase. Once they purchase, they can then sell. And again, they can either sell all 1,000 shares by clicking on sell all, or they could designate a specific amount and they could sell it just a portion of it as well. So that's how they are actually functioning within the game. So you want to give them a few minutes to just explore and start buying. You want to make sure that they get all of their money in the market. And once again, you want to make sure that they're paying attention here to their cash on hand. Sometimes they're buying things like 1,000 quantity, but at $1.15, that really wasn't that much in price. So the last thing I want to show you here to showcase to the students is that once they start purchasing, it's going to show them their shares. These stars are simple watch lists. So you're going to notice there are often 2 or 3, maybe 5 tabs of stocks for them to do. And if they want to just put it on their watch list, which is on the right-hand side, they can do that very quickly by just adding it to the watch list. It's not purchasing it. It's not selling it. If they don't want to see that one anymore as a quick look, they can simply just take it off. But that is just one other thing that the student view can do. So once you've given them some time to actually purchase stock, you're going to then go back to your home screen and simply hit start. You're going to notice, I'm going to pop back over to the student view. Their screen's doing what your screen is doing. And so now the game is officially being played. You can see that it's counting down from 60. So in this specific first game, we have 60-second days. We're not going to see anything until the day advances, and then I'll show you all of the things that they can now view. Going back to the teacher view, you're going to notice now that we've started, you have the news alert items. And so this is what you are going to want to do shout outs to. Make sure the students are paying attention to this, because this is going to help give them intel as to if that stock's going to be increasing or decreasing. We now have the full exchange board. And again, once we get into day 2, you're going to see the colors changing. And then also you have the leaderboard. Now, in order for the student to be able to tell what specific team they're on, they want to look at this period 1 and then that letter. So going back to the student view, in order to see that, if you just go to their home tab, you can see it right here. So you might need to help them see it, but this is period 1A. So this is team A. That's what they're going to want to look for. So that's just, again, on their very home tab, on that overview tab, it's right here. That's how they can tell what team they are. Okay. One other thing is, as the classroom teacher, we have loaded in 20 logins, but if you don't have 20 teams playing, and if you want to shut off some of those so that they don't show on the leaderboard, so you can see right now on the leaderboard, we're showing 20 rankings. And if they're not all 20 playing and you want to keep that a little cleaner, you can go to this edit right here. So you're on your home screen. The game will continue to play, so you don't have to worry about that, but you can go to edit and you can go over to teams. And if you know that you didn't play with the last 5 teams, for example, all you do is go over here to this icon, icon, and say yes, hide. And that's going to take them off the leaderboard. If for some reason somebody starts playing with that, or you hide someone accidentally that's playing, you can simply come back in here and turn them back on, doing the exact same thing. So now, if you go back, you can click on the back button to get to your home screen. If you go back to the leaderboard, you can see now we're only seeing 15 or 14 rather than all 20. So it cleans it up a little bit. The other thing I want to show you is that there are alerts. So sometimes it's a larger news item on top, and sometimes it's an alert on the bottom. And another thing that I want to show you is that this one didn't launch yet. I'm not sure why. What is that? The stock. So now you can see we have the titles. Once you start playing, you're going to see the titles here. So we've got the stock exchange. That's what the one thing I'm missing. So this one you can see as we go that it's starting to show if it's a low, if it's the high, etc. Some people like a one-stop shop view. So I just want to show you, if you keep the stock exchange board on the back and just simply pull down, you can resize the news. And I always put that on the right-hand side. And I usually try to do it so that, so that we can still see the tracker board. For some reason, I've got a lot of black space here. It's not going to work, of course, because I'm doing this. I'm trying to do it live. So of course it's going to fail. I just resize it down a little bit and I move it over here so that I can see. And then I do the same thing. I pull this down and I resize it so that it's a little smaller. I put that on the left-hand side and I put this one can just go away. So we keep the stock exchange on the back, and then I just pull on the front left to the leaderboard, and I pull on this side over here. And then it's a little bit crazy, but you can see the ticker board on the bottom. You can see the newsletter on the right-hand side, and then you can also see the leaderboard on this side. So it's not perfect, but it is a workaround if you would like to attempt to see all 3 from the front of the room, if you have a smart board or a Promethean board that you can showcase. So that is the basics of the stock market challenge. You're going to notice that as the classroom teacher, it just continues to roll. So I haven't had to do anything. I can be milling around the room and helping the students. The student view is just going to be continuing. They're going to see their information of what's declining, what's gaining. They can, again, go to the trade tab if they want and be able to see it a little bit more succinctly. And again, if they want to buy or sell or trade this, they can just simply click on the trade icon. It takes them into the stock and they can buy and sell on the right-hand side. The last thing I want to showcase is if you're the classroom teacher or the volunteer and you want to make any changes to the day in which news items are coming, as long as it hasn't already occurred, you can click on the edit button. You can do this before or after during it being played, but you can simply change this. And the nice feature about that is if you're watching your time and you realize that it's set up for 30 minutes, but the bell's going to ring and you're not going to get the last 5 minutes done, you could, if you wanted, come down here and you could make these, day 13, 14, 15, 16, so that they get played sooner in the game. You can put more than one news item on a specific day if you want to be able to see some of these that you might not get to, depending on how much time you have in your specific class. The last thing I want to show is that you can pause the game. If you do pause the game, you are going to notice that the student view gets grayed out. So it's going to cause them to look to the front of the room if you want to pause to be able to talk about something. Why did a stock go up? Why did a stock go down? You can pause it so they're not losing any time. The bummer is that they can't see information, so it literally blocks them out. However, it's nice because you as the teacher or the volunteer can do some talking prompts, etc. So, and all you would do is then simply hit start again and the game would play through. You can, if you want to continue a game from one visit to the next, we will preload 3 games so you can start over with each visit. But if you do only get a portion of the game done and the students want to continue to play in the same game, you would want to make sure that you pause it prior to getting out, because if you just simply click out of the game, it's going to continue to play through. So it's not contingent on you being on that screen. The game will continue to play even if you log out. So those are the stock market simulation basics. Please be sure to let me know if you have any questions.